put together this little presentation just to shine some light on something I don't think people have a lot of information about. So whoever sees this, hopefully you get some value from it. Starting out with inflation equals theft. They print, we pay. And that first image you see is the US money supply over time since the year 2000 to 2025. And you can see it's just been climbing and climbing. So I'd like to answer the question of money. What is it? And why is everything getting so expensive? When trust isn't enough, scarcity steps in. Money is a tool designed to store and trade value. Value is energy stored in physical form. This serves the purpose of a medium of exchange. It lets people trade without bartering. It's a store of value, holds purchasing power to be redeemed later. A unit of account gives things their price. A standard of payment ensures a universal value. Historical examples include seashells, rocks, and precious metals, as you can see on the right there. Gold equals nature's sound money. For thousands of years, gold has been the benchmark of value. Empires rose and fell, but gold remained the standard. Why is that? It's scarce. It can't be recreated on this planet. It's durable, doesn't corrode, chemically elite. Divisible, can be weighed and split. It's portable, easy to carry and trade, recognizable, verifiable across borders. The world used to back their currencies with this, believe it or not. As you can see, that $50 note, they used to say redeemable in gold. Used to literally be able to do that. WTF happened in 1971.com. A nice website to go to if you're into charts and numbers. You can see WTF happened in 1971, as it states. Governments initially began issuing paper money for convenience. You can trade your paper for gold at any time, until 1971, when the gold standard was publicly denounced. Things like World War I, World War II, even Vietnam cost more than the gold reserves could cover. The Great Depression caused people to hoard their gold. Economies were growing faster than gold could be mined. Leaders wanted control. Honestly, simply put, because they want to stimulate the economy. Got to get votes somehow. Even in our modern age. Actually, I'd argue and say it's even more relevant now. Gold was honest, but inconvenient for power. And issues came about. Gold versus purchasing power of the US dollar. As you can see, the US dollar is in red, up there at the top. Things were going great right until that line, as you see, is drawn. Nixon takes the dollar off the gold standard in 71. It's just been declining since. So, do your own research, but that is a real graph with real data. As unfortunate and kind of crazy looking as it is. Looks like it's straight out of a movie. But this is real, and people aren't talking about it. More money does not equal more stuff. You give someone money, they give you something of value. Groceries, rent, tools, services, transportation, you name it. If there are 10 valuable things available and $10 total, each dollar can buy one thing. Simple arithmetic. Now if someone puts 10 more dollars, now 20 total, each dollar only buys half of a thing. I tried to make it as simply put as I could because it really is that simple. More money without more stuff means the money loses value. This is textbook inflation. I didn't know what it meant for years and years. That is inflation. It's not a naturally occurring thing, it is a choice. Prices go up not because things got better, but because the money got worse. Wages haven't followed, as we've all noticed. How could they? Companies are trying to keep up with the cost of doing business. As you can see, the United States Federal Reserve assets, right in 2020 is when they spiked up. They just hit that printer, and that's why we see everything expensive now. It's not politics. Well, it is politics, but it's not left or right. It's the whole system. I could even argue that it was 1970s. It's been bad for a long time and it's now finally catching up. As you can see, 15 years ago, the total money supply versus your money, you have that same dollar amount, but the supply is much bigger, so you've been absolutely diluted. Inflation fuels war. When money loses its anchor to real value, governments can print endlessly. That printed money funds wars that can't be afforded otherwise, bailouts for broken systems, debt traps that enslave future generations. Leaders delay the consequences and hide the costs. We pay with our time and future, taxes, and through other means of sneaky ways, trust me. Prices rise, your paycheck buys less. Savings shrink, your future costs more. Debt grows, governments borrow against your labor. Conflict spreads, printed money fuels weapons, and then we ditch those weapons. Not even a joke. Trust erodes, people lose faith in the system, as we see now. It isn't a Biden versus Trump thing. It starts so much earlier and it's so much deeper. The trend of U.S. federal debt, 1973 to now. It explains itself. Check that out. It hurts to see. The house always wins because it prints the chips. You aren't getting necessarily richer with your investment properties or dividend stocks. You might just be barely breaking even. Think of all the chores it takes and all the time it takes to manage a property. I don't even know if you're renting it out or all the things you need to do, upkeep, maintenance, yada yada, and even stock picks. If you want any decent gains at all, you have to be a financial expert. So I say, understand this. The entire financial ecosystem was created to combat this. The money is broken. A savings account would need to yield at least 8% APY every year just to maintain purchasing power relative to the dollar supply expansion rate. That I'm being very on the low side of, mind you. The average offered is 3 to 4% APY. I remember there for a bit we had 5 and I thought I was rolling in dough. Turns out, no. As you can see, the purchasing power of the US dollar has just been on a decline since, look, the 1900s. There's a lot of research to do in this. It just hasn't been good for a very long time because we lacked the resources to make it good, I believe. Finance is just a game of catch-up, honestly, the more you look into it. This is what they call the black pill, where it's all doom and gloom because you realize you're being played no matter what you do. And you just work harder and harder and nothing you can do can fix it. Most traditional assets are just trying to keep up with monetary dilution. For example, high yield saving, 3 to 4%, negative. S&P index fund, 14.2% nominal, but you forget about all the little nitty-gritty stuff, and that roughly translates to 9.75 real return. Gold, roughly 7 to 9 real return. Real estate, 2 to 4%, because there's just so much upkeep, and it's unpredictable. Heck, even think of nature and the weather and erosion, and it's just a lot. 401k retirement accounts such as ETFs, index funds, anything that's grouped together and something that you're supposed to invest into and forget, roughly 5 to 6 real return. So to preserve your purchasing power, you need at least 8% APY annually. Most assets fall short. You're not building wealth, you're defending it. And most tools aren't even winning this fight. Engineered scarcity is needed. Most of what we rely on today exists because it was engineered. We trust these systems because they were built with intention, precision, and constraints by professionals, as in people who study and spend their lives towards a specific thing, who understand the stakes and ran the appropriate tests. For example, the power grid was engineered by electrical engineers to balance load, voltage, and redundancy. Vehicles were designed by mechanical engineers who calculated torque, fuel flow, thermal limits, and a million other variables. This is just to keep it short. Solar systems, built by energy professionals using voltage, amperage, controller logic. Just everything has to be specific here, as we've seen. Even financial tools like compound interests, amortization schedules, portfolio theory, they're all developed by economists and mathematicians to manage risk and preserve value. I believe, and I'm sure others agree, as I've seen and spoken to, time deserves to be respected with scarcity. Those formulas there, We'll get to those later. Systems evolve. It's money's turn. We outgrow processes when innovation presents ideas tried and tested to be superior. That's evolution. We're humans. We're all by design trying to just do better and better, and we can't stop. Communication went from couriers to the telegraph to now instant messages. Navigation became verbal to printed maps. Now we have GPS satellites. Knowledge, we had scrolls, and we have the printing press and databases. It's available for everyone. Well, value transfer, we've yet to have something so perfect. I explained a little bit on gold, but it has its cons, like it's heavy, hard to move. That's the reason why we had paper bills to begin with. So we're still built for a slow transfer. There's no native precision there, no global settlement without intermediaries, no open blueprint the whole world can audit. The fundamentals of good money are, has to have a finite supply, rules that prevent dilution set in stone from the start, borderless reach, moves anywhere without gates, borders, or jurisdictions, verifiable by anyone, no need to trust, you can check the math yourself, durable over time, resists decay, obsolescence, or systematic failure. It's divisible and portable, easy to transfer in any amount from anywhere. Resistant to censorship, no single authority can block or reverse it. The US dollar, as you can see by these two images here, is embarrassed. It is not good money. Gold is good money, but we don't live in a slow world anymore. Fix the money, fix the world. Money today is broken, controlled by central banks, diluted by design, and settled through trust-based intermediaries. Every transaction relies on permission. Banks, governments, and payment processors decide you can send, receive, and save. Rules change quietly. Ledgers are closed off. Inflation is policy. Bailouts are routine. Accountability is absent. Introducing a carefully crafted monetary protocol, Bitcoin. A system that does not ask for trust. It removes the need for it. There's no owner, company, or central authority. This runs on an open source code, verified by thousands worldwide every roughly 10 minutes. Rules without rulers. The ledger is public. No one is above it. Fraud is computationally impossible. Every user can verify the truth for themselves, anytime, anywhere. You just need internet. The network defends itself. It's decentralized, durable, built to endure. It's a monetary system engineered for sovereignty. This is a quote from Michael Saylor. Anyone in this space knows who this is by heart, but he's an MIT engineer and MicroStrategy founder. He is right in the heart of the tech world. Bitcoin is a bank in cyberspace, ran by incorruptible software, offering a global, affordable, simple, and secure savings account to billions of people. The internet is what happens when we pool information on a software network. Bitcoin is what happens when we pool monetary energy on a software network. And just out of my own curiosity, I found this interesting. Bit, as in the bit and coin, we can kind of figure what coin means in a monetary system, right? But a bit is the smallest unit of data in a computer, in binary. So bytes, as we've also heard of, those are strings of 8. And it's literally the fundamental basis of how computers speak. So I thought that was cool. There's more to the name than you think. And I would like to close with this. If you don't study money, someone else decides for you. That last little half, I'm not trying to sell anyone on Bitcoin. I've just done my study, which started honestly in the stock market world. I was pulled that way because I realized, oh my gosh, my high yield savings account isn't actually making me money because no one taught me this stuff. I took economic classes in school and they didn't go over this. So hopefully whoever finds this finds it well. I've tried to do unbiased research and just present the facts. And I hope everyone who runs across this doesn't take my word. Don't trust me. Verify for yourself. So, yeah, thank you.